Hello, welcome to another Alpha Strike We Play video. My name is Adam and this is Tarron.
Hey buddy, how we doing?
You were looking at Bulldozers the other day.
I was, yeah.
And you said, look, let's talk to people about it because it might be something a bit different from shooting stuff.
Because we've got to have something to talk about. So, quickie time.
Yes.
Swoosh. Okay, bulldozers. Basically, you put a big bulldozer blade on the front of a vehicle and you use it to clear stuff away. Video over.
Great, thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
No. But how does what's the advantage of using these in your games?
So if you go to into a rubble hex, you're making a piloting skill check with, I think, a modifier, isn't there, for rubble? I think it's a +1 for rubble.
Oh, maybe. But either way, it is a piloting check, so there is a risk.
It's a piloting check. There's always a risk with a piloting check. What this does is it allows you to use a support vehicle or possibly a combat vehicle with a bulldozer on the front of it in order to clear a path through a rubble hex. So you can turn it into a clear hex.
Nice.
It depends on where the rubble came from, how long it's going to take to clear. So I think it was light buildings are 2. Yeah, so light buildings are 2. A medium structure rubble takes 4 turns, and heavy structure rubble takes 16 turns. No,
Okay.
8 turns. Hardened takes 16.
Okay.
Yeah. So light 2, medium 4, heavy 8, hardened 16. While it's clearing the rubble, they have to remain in the hex. You can change facing, but you have to stay in the hex. And can also make weapon attacks, but they are all modified as though the support vehicle were moving at flank speed. So it's a +2.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the bulldozer takes half the standard damage when it charges. Why you're charging a support vehicle at someone, I do not know, but you know, needs must when the devil vomits in your kettle. So each time the bulldozer takes damage to its front armor, you roll a 2d6, and on a 2, the bulldozer blade is destroyed.
Yeah.
You also double standard charging damage against a target when a vehicle with a bulldozer blade charges a building hex.
Ooh.
So you double your charging damage against buildings.
That makes sense.
Which is kind of cool.
Sense.
I mean, you can knock them down, kill all the infantry in there that's there, and then clear the hex so that nobody else has to trip over it.
That's right. And there's no evidence of anything that's going on. Yeah.
Bury the bodies.
Bury the bodies.
Bury the bodies.
So that's kind of cool. So you clear a hex and it allows, because there are some units that can't move through rubble hexes.
Yeah,
So
well,
it allows you to
that's
move
the other
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It's not too bad. I'm not seeing one for piloting. No, I don't see one. It's possible that there is one, but I'm not. Oh no, there it is. Okay, mech entered rubble hex 0.
0. Okay, so no modifier, but you still got to do a check. So.
But you still have to check, and with any sort of leg damage that's involves critical hits, or even with a not very good pilot, you are looking at some possible nastiness.
Yeah.
Gyro hits, all that sort of stuff. If you've taken 20 points of damage, blah blah blah, etc.
But still, handy to have, like, we talk about playing campaign games and things like that, you know, where they have time as a factor.
Yeah.
Things.
And if you're actually doing like a major campaign, like planetary assault spanning campaigns, then things like bridge layers that we talked about before, bulldozers that are here now, those sort of things are handy to actually include in your game.
Yeah.
You don't ever necessarily have to use them in a mission, but you could say, well, if you've got 2 units with bulldozer blades in your regiment, company, whatever it is that you're fielding, then you can arrive at the battlefield 2 turns earlier, or you get an advantage on initiative for 2 turns, or something like that. You know, you can work these particular things into stuff some way.
Yeah, that's true.
You don't necessarily have to have them on the board doing things.
I mean, if you've had a battle in a city or whatever, and you hold that city, if you don't do anything with it, and the guy attacks you again, the layout's going to be exactly the same. But if you've got something like that, you can then set it up to your advantage
smush it,
somehow.
to move it around.
Yeah.
Your bridge layers can start putting, like, I mean, you can technically lay a bridge between two hexes of building if you wanted to, if they're hardened buildings.
That's true.
Which means your infantry can move building to building across the bridges. You can use the bulldozers to push buildings down, and then you could probably have some sort of rampart system in your game that you push up. It's
Nice.
If you're doing major campaign games, then just consider having those sort of things be part of the games. They're cool.
Bulldozers.
They're very cool.
There we go.
Plus, you can strap it to a mech and beat people with it if you feel like it.
Anything that blows up's fun.
Solaris. Good for everything.
Could be a scenario objective as well. You know, you could come up with something like that too.
Well, you can have a little support vehicle, the lightest tracked support vehicle as an AI controlled thing, and so we have to guard it till it gets here. It's got to clear that hex for you to access the MacGuffin. You work it out, say, well, it was a hardened structure, so it's going to take 16 turns for it to clear that hex. You've got X turns before the reinforcements for the enemy turn up. You've got X turns before this happens. Blah, etc. Blah. You just come up with your scenarios.
Pretty cool.
It's they're groovy.
Okay, so Bulldozers in your games of BattleTech. Lots of options there, actually. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Very groove.
Okay, well, consider subscribing if you haven't already. Leave some comments. Have you used this sort of thing? Have you played scenarios? Have you played campaigns where you use equipment like this for stuff?
Have you charged a building with a bulldozer?
No, but we're going to have to now that it says it in there.
I'm going to go out hotwire one. See if it works.
All right, people. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.